entitled. So, in terms of what we do at Executive Temps is we place people at Oprah Winfrey Network, ABC, Disney, TNT, Cartoon Network, BET. We service more than major studios, probably any other agency. My wife is a former assistant to the chairman of NBC and the chairman of Paramount Pictures. So, from her experience, she kind of taught me what was needed in those arenas until we could afford to bring her home. She's been home for quite some time now, for many years. But our concern is really to build a pool of excellent people. The EVP of program at NBC, we place assistant, the manager of reality programming, the woman who's director of Little Big Shots. And for most students, I think they really need to understand that their dreams are possible. Number one, their dreams are possible. But there's a bigger challenge that we have today than we had 15 years ago. The market is flooded with candidates. It's flooded with schools that have people with master's degrees and coming from schools where they're implementing, they have programs associated with networks and studios. So when the kids are looking to transfer in, it's a little bit more challenging. But there's no substitute for courtesy. There's no substitute for humility. And so, I'm always teaching and I'm always preaching on humility and really teaching. My bottom line is I'm probably doing more coaching on how to interview than I ever have in the last 5 years than I have in the 29 years we've been in business. And just teaching them how to behave and how not to hijack a conversation because you will never get in the room with them again. So, it's a lot on how to get in. But unlike most of your panel here, which is heavy production, most of what we do is place admin support to the executives for the networks and studios who are greenlighting the projects that these guys are working on. So it's from two different perspectives. You have a production perspective and then the suits, the executives that greenlight those shows. And how to navigate those waters and how to get in there. So I think kids just really need to understand, after you learn all the things they're teaching you, now how do I get a job? I graduated, how do I get a job? And I always say that I could coach a donkey on how to get a job. Because it's not that hard, but it's not about you. And you can't go in and have an interview about your aspirations and your goals for 20 minutes when they're hiring you for their need and they're not hiring you for your goals. They're going to ask you what your goals are, so you're going to have them, but that doesn't mean you need to give them a 20-minute dissertation on your goals. So it's really important when they get in that space how they conduct themselves, because that space will, if they don't land that job, it will open to all the other jobs the HR person gets. And so many times they'll go in for a job in marketing, but their passion is really